Some people chase success and forget where they came from, but the rarest ones, they never forget. The ones who stood beside them before the fortune. Ethan Hayes stepped out of his black Rolls-Royce, adjusting the cuffs of his custom-tailored suit. The event was extravagant, a billionaire's gala filled with the wealthiest people in the city. But Ethan wasn't here for business. He was here for someone who had no idea what was coming. Across the room, Ryan Carter sat in his wheelchair, quietly watching the celebration unfold. Once, he and Ethan were inseparable. Best friends, college roommates. Ryan had been the brilliant one, the one who tutored Ethan through late-night study sessions, the one who believed in him when no one else did. But life? It hadn't been fair to Ryan. A car accident in their senior year had taken more than just his mobility. It had stolen his dreams, his confidence, his future. And while Ethan had gone on to build a billion-dollar empire, Ryan had struggled. He never complained, never asked for help. But Ethan knew. And tonight, he was about to change everything. As the crowd quieted, Ethan took the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice steady, "this company wouldn't exist without a certain person. Someone who, when I was just another broke college kid, pushed me to be better." Ryan frowned, confused. Who was Ethan talking about? Ethan smiled. "Ryan Carter, would you join me up here?" Gasps filled the room as all eyes turned to Ryan. He blinked, stunned. "Me?" Ethan nodded. "Yeah." With the help of a few attendees, Ryan was guided onto the stage, his wheelchair rolling beside Ethan. The billionaire placed a hand on his old friend's shoulder. "Ryan, you were there for me when I had nothing. You never let me quit. You never let me fail." Ethan's voice grew thick with emotion. "But somewhere along the way, I failed you." Ryan shook his head. "Ethan, you didn't." Ethan raised a hand. "I did. I should have done this a long time ago." Then he turned to the audience. "Tonight, I want to make things right." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a single key. Ryan frowned. "What's that?" Ethan smirked. "It's yours." Ryan's heart pounded. "Mine? What do you mean?" Ethan leaned down, his voice soft but firm. "I bought you a company." Ryan's breath hitched. The crowd erupted. Ethan continued, unshaken. "I've set up a state-of-the-art tech firm in your name. Full funding, full control. You once told me you wanted to change the world with your ideas." Ethan's gaze was steady. "Now, you can." Ryan's hand shook as he took the key. His voice was barely above a whisper. "Ethan, I don't know what to say." Ethan smiled. "Say you'll take it. Say you'll build something incredible. Say you'll finally get what you deserve." Ryan swallowed hard. Then he nodded. A tear slipped down his cheek. And as the room erupted in applause, he realized his future wasn't stolen. It was just waiting for the right person to remind him who he was meant to be. Success isn't about how high you climb, it's about who you lift up along the way. The room was still buzzing with shock and admiration as Ryan sat there, gripping the key Ethan had just handed him. His mind raced. A tech company? In his name? Fully funded? This wasn't just a gesture. This was a new beginning. He looked up at Ethan, his throat tight. "Why are you doing this?" Ethan smiled, his voice steady. "Because I should have done it years ago." Ryan exhaled shakily. "I don't even know if I can run a company. I haven't been in the game for so long." Ethan crouched down to his level. "You never left the game, Ryan. Life just threw you a harder play. But I know you. I know what you're capable of." Ryan looked down at the key. It felt heavy, not from its weight, but from what it meant. For years he had convinced himself that his best days were behind him. But now he had a future again. The next morning, Ryan stood outside a massive glass skyscraper. His name, Carter Innovations, was displayed on the front entrance. His hands trembled as Ethan handed him a folder. "Everything you need to know is in here, but honestly?" Ethan grinned. "I trust you'll figure it out." Ryan let out a shaky breath. This is real, huh? Ethan smirked. As real as it gets, my friend. Ryan took a deep breath and wheeled himself forward through the doors of his new empire. And as he did, he realized something. For the first time in years, he wasn't looking back. He was moving forward. True friendship isn't just about remembering the past. It's about making sure no one 1 year later. Ryan Carter sat at the head of a massive conference table, overlooking a room full of executives, engineers, and innovators. His team, his company, Carter Innovations had gone from an idea on paper to one of the fastest growing tech firms in the industry. And today, they were about to unveil something groundbreaking. As the presentation wrapped up, Ryan turned to the press, his confidence unshakable. People once told me that my accident took everything from me, he said, that I'd never build, never lead, never succeed. He glanced at Ethan, who was standing at the back of the room, grinning like a proud brother. Ryan smiled. They were wrong. The room erupted into applause, because the man who had once thought his future was over had just created something that would change the world. After the event, Ryan and Ethan stood on the rooftop of the building, the one that bore Ryan's name. Ryan let out a slow breath. It still doesn't feel real. Ethan chuckled. That's because you're too busy making it happen. Ryan turned to him, grateful beyond words. I wouldn't be here without you. Ethan smirked. Damn right you wouldn't. They both laughed. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about business. It was about friendship, redemption, second chances. Ryan had his future back. And Ethan? He had proven that true success isn't about what you build alone. It's about who you bring with you. A real friend doesn't just remember you at the top. A real friend makes sure you get there too. CS left behind in the future,